Coach Newberry indicated when we spoke to him on Monday that a big focus of this bye week would be on improving the defense, getting some things fixed. What are some of the things you feel the defense needs to work on in the wake of some tough outings here against Air Force and Temple?
I'd say the biggest thing, first off, would be our communication. You know, we have a lot of checks and stuff that we need to do on the back half, and I think the biggest thing across the board would 100% be communication, making sure everyone's got the call, is getting aligned, is in the right position, and then just playing our style of ball. Because we had like 3 loafs in the entirety of the game, which is like a really good number. And so we're playing really hard. It's just we need to be technically sound in the right spot, doing the right thing, so the problems that we did have won't happen again.
The miscommunication you speak of, how does that occur?
It could be pressing, not trusting the team. However, I mean, I don't think we don't do that. I think we trust each other. It's just sometimes, myself included, we want to do more than what's required of us, which can be good, but also one big thing that the coaches tell us is they don't need us to be Superman. They just need us to be a man and do our job. And once everyone does their job, doing their 1/11th, they say, good things will happen. And I trust that 100%.
So in terms of one of the things that Coach Newberry mentioned possibly doing was simplifying things. I'm not sure how exactly that can be done or what would be done, but do you feel that could help?
I agree. I think it could help. I mean, I don't really know what they're talking about in their the coaches staff meeting, but all I know is that the defense that they're going to, put in the game plan for, I'm going to run the best of my ability. And if simplifying it means we're doing more base calls, more base things, more day one install, and maybe trying to articulate it better towards the entire defensive unit, I trust it. I trust them. So I don't think they're going to simplify it to do very basic things. That's what my first thought is. However, I think they're just going to try to articulate it and make it much more smoother and much more efficient, I'd say. Yeah.
Thanks.
Scott Wyckoff.
Yeah, Griff, how do you like the bye weeks, kind of the starting of the stopping of the season? How do you like it? And do you go into a bye week with a personal goal of kind of what you want to get out of it before you get back into the routine of preparing for a game?
I personally love bye weeks. Not just because we get time off, but it's more of a recovering, recoup, and like regrouping situation where we can address the problems at a much more like a bigger magnitude, so we can focus on them. And then this gives us opportunities for the position coaches to really do what they're great at in teaching us and like recentering the fundamentals. I think Coach Hall does a great job about that. I've had personal experience with that. And so I think it's a good opportunity for us to, get better at what we're really great at, but also improve on the things that we aren't. And so when we go into FAU, we'll be a much more well-oiled machine, 100%.
And how important is not only his capabilities on the field right now for Landon, but his ability to lead you guys, especially some of the younger players on defense, through this part of the season, knowing what it takes to get through this next part of the season?
I think his capabilities, I don't think they need to be anything bigger than what they have been. However, I do believe that Landon's a great leader, and I think everyone knows that. But the best thing Landon could do, in my personal opinion, would be to keep working like he always does, but to bring others along. But also, Landon specifically, he needs to be smart because of how valuable he is to the team. He needs to be smart about the way that he works, the way that he recovers. Same with everyone that makes contributing snaps, and I think it's also a good opportunity for Landon to teach, the backups a more fundamental sound way to play, so he doesn't have to play 70+ snaps every single game.
For you this season, not knowing that you were going to be in the starting lineup every game, but knowing if you work and get to that point, how has that been, being able to focus on a game plan and knowing exactly what you need to do and kind of not worrying about whether you're going to be getting in or not?
Um, it's a good question. I go in. I think I said this in one of my interviews in the past, but the coaches treat us when you're on the field, you're the starter, and so that might be one snap. That might be all the snaps. So your preparation doesn't change. You know the playbook. You know what you do, and so when the coaches have need to put you in, whenever they feel the trust they have, they can trust you to be on the field and not have a huge drop off between the starters and the second team. And I think the defensive line does a great job of that. I think the ones and twos do there isn't much drop off from the D line entirely. So yeah, there's not much change of if I'm a starter or not. Like I mean, it could be a four string. I'd still prepare in the same way.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Tim Nolan.
Griffen, Landon currently second in the country among defensive linemen with pressures to the quarterback with 21. How does his presence in the trenches make your job and the rest of the D lines that much more efficient?
It's a good question. Well, first off, I mean, everyone on the offensive side when we play against them. They respect that Landon's one of the best, if not the best interior D lineman in the country. And he does it by every single game by getting in the backfield. And so I think it does definitely help us out because, they have to double team, sometimes triple team Landon to make sure that there's nothing going on in the backfield. But I think that takes a toll on him. So it gives me an opportunity to get in the backfield to make my name and make Julian or Crane or Kendall's name more vocal and getting buzz is what we say. It makes the job easier. It does because there's less people on you. However, we need to take that opportunity and make something out of it and not just rely solely on Landon to make the plays.
You're often going after practice and taking some younger guys over to the sleds for some extra work. How much of that is your coach's prodding, and how much of that is you doing that on your own?
I'm going to say 100%, Tim. That's Landon, me, Matt, 100% doing that on our own. And I love seeing that young plebes are coming in and joining us as well. We're taking the opportunity to lead by example, and they're doing a really good job about that. And the coaches, I know they appreciate that, but they don't ask us to do extra. They want us to do our job, and once we get out on the field, they want us to do the right thing. So we're taking it upon ourselves to go do extra.
I know you said earlier that the coaches want you to be just a man and not Superman, but how much does your front seven, how much responsibility do you guys take wanting to get home quicker to kind of ease the transition for some of the younger guys you've had in that secondary?
Yeah, I think it's a very big opportunity for us, 100%. We need to do a better job getting in the backfield and not just, have Luke Pierce or Landon get back there. But I think it needs to be definitely more spread, and I need to take that upon myself to do better, making more plays, not for myself, but for the team. And I know if we do a better job, the front seven, getting in the backfield, causing pressure, making a quarterback scramble, it does a better job or helps the secondary. And it doesn't matter that they're young or not. We trust the guys in the backfield or in the back, and I know they're going to do a good job. We just need to do our part in making their lives easier.
Thanks, Griff.
Wags. Wags.
I had to turn off my computer. I was listening to my Anchors Away podcast to make sure there was no problem. Sorry. Griff, so back on the defense, one of the other things that was mentioned by Coach Newberry was calls coming in late. Can you talk about how that can cause miscommunication or people not knowing the play call if it's coming in late? And has that been a concern?
Wags, that's a good question. Calls coming in late, that's a really tough job, especially on Coach Wimberly and Coach Volker, because Coach Volker does a great job executing the game plan that he has for us, and the entire defense trusts him. However, the stipulation with that is that he has to, analyze the backfield set and what the offense is showing us, and then he has to make the call based on that with his call sheet. So it takes time for him to register, digest it, and then give us the best call that he for us, because I know he wants to give us the best one, and sometimes it's tough to get get the most perfect one out there. And so there has been a little bit of trouble, like seeing the call, getting lined up before the play is like snapped, the ball snapped. And so I don't see there's a big concern of it because typically there's not. I think just like it might have been the situation we were in. It was stressful, loud, big stadium. Could put a lot of excuses into it, but I know Coach Volker, he pulls his thumb on a lot of things, and I know he's going to do a great job. He always does, and sometimes he makes mistakes like all humans do. And I think we're just going to run with it. We're going to keep trusting him.
Missed tackles have also been an issue. How do you improve that?
The fundamentals, going back to practice is getting better. There's no secret formula or pep talk that you can do. It's getting back in between the white lines, as Coach Brown says, and putting the work in, getting better. Really addressing the problem of like taking space with that. That's the biggest thing that we need to do is take space when we're in or on open fields and go kill the engine.
You mentioned playing Navy-style defense, and since Coach Newberry arrived here, that's been a very aggressive style where you're setting the tone and not playing on your heels. Is that kind of you got to get back that mindset and start dictating as opposed to being dictated to, correct?
I'd say yes. I mean, I think as a defensive front, I don't think we've ever stopped that personally. I think we continue to go and become the aggressor, and we are the aggressor. Yeah, we make mistakes like all defenses do, but when we look at the film, I don't see us being on our heels and just oozing off blocks. I see us striking. I see us shedding. Yeah, there's sometimes where we mess up, but more often than not, I think when I watch the film personally, this is my own judgment. I think we strike guys under their chin and we bamboozle them with the way that we show pressure. We get in the backfield. I think we do a good job with that.
Thanks, Griff.
Yep.
Scott Wyckoff.
Hey, Griff, how's your family enjoying your journey as not only a member of the Brigade of Midshipmen, but this football journey you're on, and how important have they been for you on it?
My family is everything. My parents have supported me. I've said this so many times, but they're enjoying the heck out of it. You can ask Scott and Tim or anybody in the football staff. My dad's at almost every single practice, like hands down. Besides like the Thinking Thursday ones, he's at every practice if he doesn't have work. And so they've been loving the whole process. Moving up from Texas was such a blessing. I'm so grateful that they're up here and they're 20 minutes away. And my parents are my sponsor parents, and so it's pretty awesome. But they've been loving the heck out of it. They go to every game. They have fun with it because I'm the last of my siblings to go through this whole college thing. It's not even college, but they're loving it. My dad's super invested, super fan. I consider him. He's got a tailgate out of the stadium, and it's always crazy. So I'm super grateful for him. But yeah, they're loving it. And for my whole experience, none of this would have been happening without Lord and Savior Jesus Christ and my parents and my family. I mean, 100%.
So they move here from Texas to be around you for this, like I said, not only your journey on the football field, but in the brigade. But what do they do when you join the fleet? Do they follow you across the globe?
Unfortunately, no. Was kind of a good thing. My sisters live out in California, and so they're probably going to move out there. My dad can work remote. My mom is kind of retired, kind of not. She just does everything. And so they already got a plan set up. They're probably going to do some crazy adventuring across, Europe and stuff like that because they're going to be completely empty nested. So they're going to enjoy that.
And is it neat too to have your family here so you can kind of take your teammates who might be homesick and kind of give them a feeling of being at home?
Yeah, I take advantage of that as many times as possible. Take a lot of the D line. I definitely need to venture out more and maybe have a huge defensive party there because it is pretty local. However, it's such a big blessing having my parents there. Can't say enough about it because I get to go home pretty much every weekend, and it's very nice. And have a home cooked meal by my mom that I grew up on. I mean, it's top tier.
And where are they living right now?
They live in Kent Island, Chestertown. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir.
I can confirm I love your mom and your dad. Yeah, Nolan.
Griffen asked this to Ben yesterday, but what is it like every single play knowing that you guys don't have maybe the same margin for error as many FBS programs despite your record, and that any play could dictate how this season pans out?
That's a good question. I think the biggest thing is it's a big opportunity for us. Yeah, there's not as much margin of error, so that makes us have to practice and play even better than the opponent. That's a really good question, actually. I mean, I take it as a challenge. I mean, I want our team to be great, and I know we can be, and I think we're really good, but we still have a lot of meat left on the bone, that the coaches say, and yeah, I think it's a great challenge for us because once we take that next step, once we eliminate the penalties, eliminate the silly mental mistakes, having bad eyes, poor footwork, and stuff like that, I think our team is going to be great. And we are good right now, but I think we have the opportunity and the ability to be even better.
Back on Monday, Coach Newberry was talking about how this team is not really close to its ceiling just yet. What in your mind is the 2025 ceiling for Navy?
13-0 and heading to the college football playoff. And from the outside viewer, that might seem lofty, but I train with these guys every single day. I'm with these guys every single day. I've never been a part of a culture that cares so much about the person next to us and the people behind us. Like I don't have any doubt in my mind that we can't go play against top 12 teams because I think we are one. I know we got to eliminate mistakes. I know we got to do that, but other teams do too. And so I think we have a great opportunity to make that happen. And so the biggest thing we can do right now, or the best thing we can do right now, is just go 1-0. And just that starts the day of practice.
What are some of the things that you're doing between now and FAU to make sure that you're doing your part?
Definitely getting the playbook. Definitely working on some extra things outside of just practice and being in the gym. I know I'm going to do some extra workouts on the weekends. Definitely going to focus on some film on them because they have a really good quarterback, I've heard. They have a really good, really solid offense. And so I'm excited for the opportunity. Definitely got to rest up for sure. Body's beat up from the past few weeks. However, I know the coaches are going to take care of us. But I have one big thing that's on my mind that I definitely need to work on for the upcoming game, but also not just this game, but the season in general, that I think will boost my play personally. But yeah, I'm just excited for it. I love football, man. I can't wait to get back on the field.
What's that one big thing?
Definitely would be a ball get off. I got to get off the ball better. And I think, as I'm pretty sure Wagger, Scott Wyckoff said, I want to be disruptive, but I got to make that happen by getting off the ball faster, causing more pressure, and letting Landon, myself, and whoever's at defensive end go make plays as well.
Thanks, Griffen. See you at practice.
Appreciate it, Tim.
Griff, despite being 6-0, do you guys feel like you still have that underdog mentality? You go on X or listen to college football podcasts. I think most people are a little dismissive of Navy. I've seen, a lot of people say Navy will probably end up with 8 wins. What is that something you guys still feed on, or you guys just don't pay attention to it at all?
We don't pay attention to it at all, but I definitely hear it. I listen, I digest it, but I don't acknowledge it. I 100% think that people think we're underdogs. We're under recruited, we're underappreciated, and we're part of a military academy that people just don't respect. They don't, as college football players at least. And so I think every single week is an interview, and I think we're building that respect day by day. But I don't really care what they say. I don't care what anyone says out there. Only people that I really care about are what the coaches think and how they're going to coach us and how we can do better as players. Other than that, that's pretty much it.
Thank you. Anyone else have anything for Griff? Wags?
I like that answer.
It was a great answer.
Thanks.
Thanks, Griff. Appreciate you, brother.
Thank you, sir.
I'd like to meet your father one day. I'll have to figure
No,
out.
I think you have already. I think you had a beer with him at the Air Force game last year.
I did.
Yeah.
I absolutely did. Yep, you're right. I'll say hi at practice.
Everyone knows his
Okay.
dad. It's
Yeah.
impossible not to know his dad.
Team Dad.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Griff. We'll be back at 2 with Coach Volker.
See you.